Welcome to this video tutorial on how to set up Terian Capture Standard. Terian Capture System is good if you're only taking a few photos at a time, whereas Terian Capture Pro allows streamlining group capture. For information on how to use Terian Capture Pro, please watch the video tutorial specific to Terian Capture Pro. This is the perfect application for taking photos of many people and ensuring the resulting images are all uniform and consistent for your database. Let us explore the Options menu to begin the setup process. So we click Options button, then Configure. For this video we're using the simple layout, which is the only option available in the standard version. Let's explore the setup now. So this is the General tab, where you can also select the default layout. We need to check that the capture folder is set. This is a temporary work folder that gets used by the application while you're working. To set these fields, we just click on the triple dots here, then select the folder you want to use. So you need to browse to an appropriate place to ensure this will work properly. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to save it here in the C drive. The second field is to set a folder for photo 1. This is the folder that the images will be saved into as you take each photo. For these photos, I'm going to save them in this folder here. Again, click the triple dots and select the folder you wish to use. I'm going to use this folder, which we use to save all of our photos taken. The third field here is to set a folder for photo 2. Photo 2 is simply a duplicate of the image saved in photo 1. Using photo 2 is an optional function, but it is a good idea to use it, especially when dealing with a large number of photos, because it gives you a backup of all the photos that you take. This is why we set photo 2 to a folder on an external drive. For example, I have here a USB memory stick that I'm going to use. This old photo field is an option that is only utilized in the Pro version. Next, we select the capture device you would like to use. This list will only show DirectShow compatible devices. The image format settings will change in relation to the capabilities provided by the device driver. The size represents the preferred dimensions of the file that is saved after capture in pixels. The color space settings will adapt to the device you have connected. However, RGB 24 is the preferable setting to use for Terian Capture Standard and Pro if it is available. If your camera image appears in the capture viewport, alternate capture program control option may not be required. Now onto the cropping tab. As it says on the note here, some video capture devices insert a black border or a partial border around a captured image. This tab allows you to replace the black border with a white border, which, depending on your background, will blend a lot better. So to use this, we enable cropping and then load crop image, which should be a previously captured image with the current captured device. Preferably an image with a light background so you can easily see if there is a black border introduced by the capture device. Now just add a white border a pixel at a time as required. To apply image adjustments, click the Enabled Image Adjustment and make the necessary changes which should be visible in the live capture viewport. Note that some device drivers may ignore these image adjustment options and require these settings to be set within the driver's configuration dialog boxes. Now on to key bindings. We are currently using the spacebar as the freeze and unfreeze button. From our experience, it is the most efficient button to use, but if you wanted to change it, then you would need to do that here. Okay, so we are finished looking at the setup menu. Now let's go over the other items on the options menu. Here is the devices menu, so you can choose which device you wish to use. Just as the device list in the configuration form, only devices that have a DirectShow compatible driver will be listed. A tick mark will appear next to the currently active device. The device options lists any device-specific configuration dialogs which are provided by the device driver. The system log records each action as it is taken by the user and also shows configuration changes made to the setup. So now that we have covered the options available, we need to take some test photos. to ensure that all our folders are set up correctly. So we type our file name in the text box. Make sure it is something obvious so we can easily track it when we have finished. To capture our test image, either click the freeze button or press the spacebar or F4. Now with the name in, we can either click the save button, F8 or enter. Now I'm going to check that the photos are saving correctly, which is a very important step. You don't want to take photos of a lot of people only to realize that they have not saved correctly. Now you'll see here on the last image saved, there is a picture there. If we right click on that and open Photo Folder 1 from the pop-up menu, this will open an Explorer window, which hopefully will be our Photo 1 folder with our test image saved for us to check. So I'm happy that these photos are saving, so I'm just going to quickly check the backup, which is Photo 2, and make sure that that is working also. So now we can start taking photos. My first person is Sarah McIntyre, and her ID number is 605, so we type 605 in the file name text box. I'll ask Sarah to step into the photo booth, which is essentially a white backdrop with some sides for reflecting the light. When using this system, it is best to create a completely artificial light environment so that the lighting is consistent for each photograph. If you're in a sunny room, then close the curtains or move to a room that has no windows and rely on your lighting. So for the consistency of our photos, we line up each person with the same ideas in mind, which are to have the top of the head sitting just below the top of the frame, and to show approximately 2/3 head and 1/3 shoulders. Then have a quick look that that person is looking their best, ask them to move any hair off their face, or adjust their glasses if the lights are reflecting. Some people tend to drop their head down, so keep an eye out for that too. Okay, I'm happy with the lineup, so I've taken a photo by hitting the spacebar. I have not yet saved the photo though, because I want to check that this one is adequate. And we see maybe that Sarah's eyes are closed. So I'll quickly unfreeze and refreeze the frame again so we can get a good photo before Sarah's cheesy smile starts to grow weary. Once we have achieved the perfect photo, I hit enter, click save or press F8. Then you will see Sarah's beautiful photo appear in the last image save box in the top left corner here. Now if you don't know the ID number of a person, you can always save the file by another name. For example, if you have a new staff member, John Olsen, he has just started working today and hasn't been issued a number. We can take the photo and name it John Olsen, and when we receive that number, just find the photo file and rename the file. Note the default freeze frame key is the spacebar, so you may need to use the underscore instead of the space in the file name. Thank you for watching our video today, and we hope that you have found it helpful. Please watch part 2 of this video based on Terian Capture Pro. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact our support team.